Are you concerned with the state of America, your state, your community? Then you're in the right place. This is the Rutherford Magazine Show with host, State Representative Mike Sparks. He and guests are here to talk about local politics, history, faith, and freedom.
All right, you're listening to the Rutherford Magazine Show. I'm your host, Mike Sparks. Got a big show tonight. And before we get started, I think Jeremy, I don't know if Jeremy, I'm putting him on the spot. You got some good news you were sharing with me. Can you share that live on the radio?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So I don't know if any listeners remember or not, but I have been doing some job searching over, I think, last week. I think Friday of not this last week, but then last week. I got an email that I've been waiting for well over 2 weeks from that time.
Yeah.
I got an email from the Tennessee State Gov, Middle Tennessee coordinator for the Tennessee State Parks, senior seasonal interpretive ranger coordinator, and I have a summer gig at Henry Horton State Park.
Horton. Yeah. Have you been out there lately?
Not lately.
The state's invested a lot of money out there. It's a beautiful area. And then Montgomery Bell, if folks hadn't been to Montgomery Bell.
I went out there to do Easter lunch with my folks, but yeah.
Fall Creek Falls. If folks hadn't been out there, Paris Landing. The state of Tennessee has spent a lot of money investing in state parks. And
absolutely.
Just beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, the staycations, our tax revenue is up. One of the great positive things happened for the state of Tennessee is a lot of folks are visiting Tennessee and they're staying in Tennessee rather than go to Florida or other vacations. Many times folks are choosing to stay within our state borders, which all that state revenue, tax dollar stays in here.
I hear this is one of the premier states to come retire. Is that correct?
Well, Florida, but I'd say Tennessee too. We're one of the top fastest growing states in the nation. Rutherford County is the 13th fastest growing county in the nation. I was in finance here about 6 weeks ago, and I was sharing with the committee the challenges that our county is faced with building schools. The infrastructure, all this growth. And so I was asking Danny Tollison, with Turner Security, he was on with me last week, and Danny's a sharp guy. And I said, man, what do you see when you see all this growth, Danny? How do you see this? He said, oh man, I see job opportunity, this and that. And I said, man, I see impact on our school system, impact on our infrastructure, impact to the taxpayers. And, I don't know. I know a lot of people may not like to hear that, but our county commission and the city councils, school boards are facing a lot of challenges trying to keep up with building schools, and schools are very expensive. But a lot of folks want to move to Tennessee because we've been doing it right.
Yep.
It's our forefathers that have made great decisions. And we've had some great mayors locally and great governors. We're blessed to call this area home.
Yeah. That Nash Creamery out there that I've sometimes talked to you on air about, they were attracted to Tennessee because of the agriculture culture.
Yeah.
California, when they moved out, they were passing a whole bunch of water regulations, and they just could not, with those regulations they were putting on a lot of agriculture. The Nash family couldn't afford to give their cattle, give their livestock water.
Well, you think about how there's people that want to look at the open border. People are literally dying to get to this nation, and in fact, one of the guys I'm fixing to introduce had the opportunity to come to America. Back in the day, Dr. Raj, if folks don't know who Dr. Raj is, he's like a TikTok, social media guru. Is that okay to say guru, Dr. Raj? Is that okay?
Okay, all right. Anytime you praise me, I'm yes.
Is that all good?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I had his class, and I was fortunate to have it. But I was reading a nice little snippet here on I guess it's an MTSU site. Here's it. Marketing professor at Middle Tennessee, Dr. Rajesh Shorvastava, did I get it right?
That's very, very correct. Very close.
Okay. Has been combined his marketing experience with his newfound passion for content creation. What started as a short welcome TikTok video for his students has turned into a platform with over 170,000 and almost 5 million likes. Wow. And you teach a marketing course, which I just completed back in the fall. Goes on to say, but lacking a strong social media presence, Dr. Raj has been a professor at MTSU 15 years, decided it was time to make some changes. With the help of his daughter, came to two videos that would soon open up a whole new world to him. Let's see. The two videos, Dr. Raj quotes, that he made, welcoming social media class and marketing management class together, got over 350,000 views. So that was very odd to me, Dr. Raj Jones said. Elaborate on that, how you got started with all this.
Okay. Okay, let me tell you, it's 190,000 followers now and 7.5 million views now.
Wow.
Which is still beyond my thinking when I look at it,
Yeah.
And it just started by chance.
Yeah.
What I did was, like you said, I teach 2 classes and I made a video welcoming my students.
Yeah.
15-second video. Hey, this is Raj, and welcome to my class. And it was a little bit of dance with my daughter and her friend doing it, and both of them went viral. So I'm one of those really lucky one whose first 2 videos just went viral.
Yeah.
And one of the class that I teach, which you have been in, that was social media marketing, and here I'm doing a social media activity.
Yeah.
So that went really well, and just got me hooked on it.
Yeah.
People started calling, and people's like, I've always said, best thing when people write on on comments that I want to come and take your class.
Yes.
Like, okay, that's perfect.
Exactly.
That's what I want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then I said, okay, all right, I'm going to take this a little more seriously than initially I took, and I take it pretty seriously.
Well, do you, and I'm not putting you on the spot, which I know I am. I mean, if
No
Dr.
problem.
McPhee or any superiors at MTSU listen, do you not get frustrated with the establishment, frustrated with administration? Because don't you feel they're lagging behind 10 years?
Absolutely, and that is one of my issue with the higher management, that you are you're doing on social media which students are not there.
Yes.
So if your target market is 18-year-olds and you are putting all this information on Facebook and all,
Yes.
they are not on Facebook, so
Yeah.
they're really not getting your information. They are on TikTok, they are on Instagram. That's where we need to put our information
Yes,
out.
yes. Well, one of the issues, and I enjoyed your class. I mean, you're very kind and you're very. I mean, you're a funny guy. Does anybody ever tell you that?
Thank you.
I mean, you really are. But you're like, what to me, what makes it funny is you're not even trying to be funny, and you're funny. That's what makes it to me hilarious. Like, what's that one video you did about if you catch somebody cheating?
Yeah, exactly, and that really got big.
Yes.
So I made a video with with some effects of TikTok on that, and it was just the way you move, and I come and I snatch your test away and put my finger, said, no, you don't cheat in my class.
Yeah, but you highlight. I don't know if this is, with all due respect to your culture, an Indian thing where you're. I mean, is that something that's like no, like that?
Kind of, sort of like you put your finger and say, no, you don't do this in my class.
Because you're highlighting your finger like back and forth, and then the video gets a little blurry because you're walking off and you throw the paper in the trash can.
That's right, exactly, and that got really became popular, and as of now it's like 7.7 million views.
Wow,
that is just crazy.
7.7 million views, and how long is that video?
It is 18-second video.
18 seconds.
18-second video,
Yeah.
But that's what the reality is.
Yes.
Nobody is interested in watching anything which is long.
Yes.
Short videos, short content is the future.
I was kidding my friend Marty Luffman. Marty is, had a bad car wreck over 3 years ago, and sadly hadn't been able to walk. And he did come to church today, and glad to see him out. Our pastor was glad to see him. A lot of our congregation glad to see him. So he's been an entrepreneur all his life, and really kind of a visionary. I'm hoping he's listening. But on the way in here, I was like, Marty, what'd you do for marketing back then? What was them sandwich boards? They put the boards over them, like Eat at Joe's, or hand out, get your paper here, just messing with them, being older, But think about how marketing has changed from the 20s or the 30s, where somebody's walking around the sidewalk with a sandwich board on them, and then now, how many millions of hits you got to get? 7.7.
That particular video.
How much? I mean, but didn't you go? You had to go buy all this equipment. You had to go hire all these people just to get 7.7 million views, right?
No, actually, honest with you, I really didn't spend too much money on buying things. I mean, this is what I tell the local businesses. You really don't need to buy these hundreds of dollars of stuff. 95% of my expense is my phone, which I already have it.
And what kind of phone do you have?
I mean, I have a iPhone 12 right now, and all you need is, okay, I use iPhone, so iPhone, but if you have an iPhone, that's all you need. I did spend around $30-40 for lights, because otherwise you can't see me in dark. I'm brown, that's why I need some lights. And pretty much that is.
Well, one thing that I like about your class, and I think MTSU, Andrew Ottman, I think Jimmy Hart, and they're great people over at MTSU. Mayor Ketchum's over there, Dr. McPhee, Dr. Burns, and so many just great people. Larry Burris, I mean, just Leon Oligood. I can go on and on. The Eschenfelder, Dr. Eschenfelder, Dan Eschenfelder, great people. I mean, and we've got such talent here at MTSU, and what I was asking you to do in class was take on the issue of mental health, how these students de-escalate, decompress, and I'm not trying to be critical of the higher ups, but you were kind of waiting on permission to do it. I really think that if you did something, because mental health is a serious issue, and you edited it up, which I know you got skill to that, or you got some students in there that can, and then in the back you've got a pennant of MTSU. Man, that marketing department would light up. And have you? Because I got with Bill Kitchen. Have you got any feedback yet from him?
No, I have not got any feedback. I have not been even given any of this to do it.
Yes.
I'm like they have told me you can do things, but you are on your own.
Well, in all fairness,
but I don't want MTSU name to be on it, which is beyond my understanding.
That's where they're messing up. The MTSU needs to be in the background. This needs to highlight MTSU. I mean, folks would want to take your class.
Absolutely, and I mean, I just don't understand.
Even if it's because a lot of your classes are online.
Exactly, it's online. Anybody can take, and this class that I actually started a few years ago has become so popular. But
the online,
I don't know why MTSU does not.
It's. I like being in a classroom because I learn from students, and if folks, I'm 57, if folks are in their 50s, late 40s, and you hadn't been, it's a different world today. These students today are very introvert, aren't they? I mean, they're looking at their phones or looking at their iPads, and they're really not that engaging. I like something you said, because I remember I went in your other class and just kind of audited it, just kind of watched, and what's that called? Capstone?
Yeah, capstone course is marketing management.
Yeah, and remember what you told the students like the first day of class? You remember what you told them?
What?
You don't remember what you said?
No, I mean, I said so many things. Which one do you?
You said, which to me is funny. You said you're going to have to. And I don't have a good Indian accent. I was going to try to, if you can't interact with people, you don't need to be in marketing. You know what you said?
Absolutely. I tell them every time. I says, if you are a shy person, if you don't like to talk to people, if you're not an extrovert kind of person, marketing should not be your major.
And where they need to go? Remember what you said?
I don't want to upset my other faculty, but you can go in accounting.
You need to be in accounting. And I lost
do your
it.
paperwork in the other room.
History department slander will not be tolerated. I'm kidding.
Yeah. But, there's a lot of truth to that because, there's a little girl that come out of the class, Sweta Nepal.
Yeah.
Stood out. And I talk about confirmation, spiritual confirmation. And, maybe some would call it synchronicity, and Dr. Carl Jung talked about this. It's a real phenomenon. Now, as a Christian, I call them God Week moments. But I had just wrote a column for my paper, Tennessee Ledger, another way to get to his issues of faith. And I see a lot of brokenness in our culture. I can call it butthurt. Somebody called it the other day. Somebody called another term. It was not butthurt. It was something else. But I just see such brokenness, and it's brokenness with relationships. And that little sweater girl come up to me because she is the top student. In my opinion,
very good student.
And she walked up to me, and it was two things she said that was confirmation for me. She said, "I just want to let you know I'm studying Christianity," which really shocked me. I wasn't expecting that, but I got to talk about my faith a little bit to the students. And thank you for allowing that opportunity. You never tried to censor me or anything like that. And then I said, well, what has set you apart? You're just outgoing. You're interacting. And she says, I guess it's because I took the Dale Carnegie program. And in my article the day before, I talked about Dale Carnegie. And he wrote a book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And other day, she wanted me to come by the coffee shop she's working at. It's called Overflow, right here off the square near the folks know where the old coin building is. I guess it was the old clerk's office, which has been so long ago people would remember. But the Miranda's on the square, the little Italian place. It's to the left of that. Nice guy. Something Bird, I think the guy owner is. Nice guy, but she's working over there. And I was talking to her, and I was kidding her about being introverted, and she looked at me. She goes, "I'm not an introvert." I said, "Yeah, you are." Just kidding her. But she stood out, and they're going to be looking for a job. And if you're quiet and you're sitting there stuck and looking at your phone, and you can't look somebody in the eye, you can't shake somebody's hand, not a lot of people want to hire somebody. Jeremy's outgoing. He landed this job, which that job will probably lead to something full time.
Absolutely, it will.
Yes.
Why did I stutter? It will. Definitely. A lot of during the interview, one of I'm not going to say her name for privacy reasons, but the ranger who's going to be overseeing me, she said that one of her SIRs just applied for a full-time ranger position, and she got it.
Yes. So. Well, my sister that sadly is in a nursing home under hospice care, she used to tell me she was a real standout, and she said, your future is determined by the books you read and the people you meet.
Yep.
And relationships do matter. Now, when did you come to America? How old were you?
Okay. I had just finished my undergrad.
Yeah.
So I was 22. I just finished my undergrad, and I started applying to come to do my MBA. And that time, this is before Google, before internet time. So you'd write a letter and then mail it, and then wait a month till they respond to you.
Really?
And then I would forget what I wrote to who. So I would keep a copy of each letter. So if I get a call back from, say, Indiana State University or University of Iowa, I would look at what did I write to them,
Yeah.
And then I started responding, and then that process took almost a year to get admission and the paperwork, and then go and get visa.
Because that undergrad's in engineering,
correct?
Yeah,
undergrad was in production engineering, and I wanted to do marketing here. And finance, because my dad thought that engineering and finance and engineering and marketing is a good combination.
Engineering and marketing.
And marketing, yeah. So when I came here, I liked marketing more than finance, and I switched to marketing full time and did my MBA in marketing.
Did some professor encourage you, or?
No, not really. I was one of those who was more outgoing, extrovert kind of person who liked doing things, like meeting people, and marketing was the perfect match for me.
Well, one thing you share, because you share a lot of stories which are real life, and the students can at least learn from your own personal experience. In my opinion, I don't think you get that much online. No disrespect to online courses, but when you're there, it's just different, But one thing you shared, what was that you had trouble with? I don't want to call out no companies, but you had trouble with some company with internet. You remember?
I tell that story every time. That one of the disadvantage you have when you are, I guess, brown like me. People assume you don't know. Yeah. I don't know why they think, and they look at you and they assume you don't know.
So there is, what do you just call that discrimination? How do you see that?
Yes, it is a sort of discrimination. Yeah. But if I look at you and assume you're not good or you don't know, it's a discrimination in their mind, But that's what it was. So I went there and I wanted to return something, and they looked at and said that, no, we are not going to return it.
But and you were in a suit, weren't you, when you went in?
No. Initially, when I went in, I was just wearing a shorts and a T-shirt because I was working on it. I was dirty, and they said, "No, I'm not going to return it." So I went back home, took shower, wore a proper clothes.
Okay, I had it backwards.
Proper clothes. Just went there. I said, "Oh, all right." No, I'm not an uneducated person. So let me tell you this: that you're supposed to return this. This is what the rule is. Just you think I'm an educator. No, I'm not. I'm a faculty in College of Business, right?
Yes.
And if you don't return this, which is I'm not asking anything special. This is your normal thing is.
Yes.
Then I'm going to stand here, call the local newspaper, give an interview, how racist you are,
I don't want that.
And I said, I'll give you 10 minutes to think about it because I don't want to create a ruckus here,
Yeah.
And guess what? 5 minutes back, he came and said, okay, I'll return it. But, that's part
That's neat. Well, folks, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Most people know that their insurance can provide them with coverage for the many life's mishaps. But I can help you also unlock discounts, save money, and get benefits with Farmers Insurance policy perks. Whether we're discussing home or auto insurance, I am here to help you understand these great perks. Call me, Mark Lewis, at 615-625-7070 for a quote, and you can get a whole lot of something with Farmers policy perks.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Not available in every state. Only available with select Farmers branded policies underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliates.
Dr. Automotive Auto Repair and Maintenance Mechanic Shop Garage provides car owners in Smyrna, Murfreesboro, Laverne, and the Middle Tennessee area with excellent auto repair services. Deep-rooted experience in serving both foreign and domestic automobiles allows for proper diagnosis in a timely manner. Check them out online at autorepairsmyrna.com, call them at 615-220-0971, or stop on in at 1205 Hazelwood Drive in Smyrna.
Hey, Middle Tennessee, it's Mark from the Safe House. And now the security riddle of the day. What's less secure than a fake safe from a big box or furniture store? Joe Biden's fake border policy, of course. But hey, there is good news. This time next year, Joe Biden will not be president. So drop by the Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. Build a wall around your valuables with a safe from the Safe House. We have certified delivery crews to deliver and install your safe. Don't let a crackhead or illegal deliver your safe. With over 30 years in the safe business, the Safe House is the place to buy a safe in Tennessee. So go to NashvilleSafeHouse.com.
My wife and I enjoy going by Yard Sale Inc. We usually go to both locations, the one in Smyrna as well as the one in Murfreesboro. A lot of times on Saturday mornings we stop by, and their inventory changes weekly, so you never know what you're going to see, and it's mostly open box. The name fits it. It's exactly that. It's a yard sale. If you don't totally agree with the price, the staff is always friendly and nice and willing to work with you.
That's the Yard Sale store in Smyrna at 111 Enon Springs Road West, in Murfreesboro at 204 South Front Street, and online at bestdealintown.com.
Hi, this is Allie Dowenhauer with Isaiah 117 House. Isaiah 117 House provides physical and emotional support for children awaiting foster care placement here in Rutherford County. We are changing the way foster care begins, and those kiddos are brought to our house to hang out and wait for a foster family, and they're given everything they need. We support foster children, DCS, and foster families here in Rutherford County. Visit us at www.isaiah117house.com or visit our Facebook page, Isaiah 117 House, Rutherford County.
All right, we're back talking marketing, social media, and outside the box stuff with Dr. Raj, one of my former professors. In fact, I'd love to take you your next class, but I don't have to have, I need 2 more classes for a second undergrad. And there's a Bob Dylan course being offered that's online. Bob Dylan. It's called Creativity. And there's a songwriting course. She said if you take these 2, they'll qualify for your last 6 hours I need. The only problem with the songwriting class is you've got to be in a Zoom call at certain times. And the advisor was telling me, she said they'll have songwriters from L.A. and all over that will interact with the students. Remember, it's online, and I can't stick to a schedule. I mean, like going to your class is hard enough, but it's hard with my schedule. But the online, the Bob Dylan, in fact, our press secretary was just at a Bob Dylan concert of the day. So I thought this was interesting.
So was one of my other professors.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Well, I've got the Beach Boys are coming up. Not Beach Boys. Jimmy Buffett,
Beach Boys.
No, Jimmy Buffett's band is coming to play tomorrow night at General Assembly. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
I'm allowed one guest, and you want to go? I'm allowed one guest.
When is it?
Tomorrow night, or tomorrow, probably 3 o'clock. I think 4 p.m.
No,
Yeah, I mean, I'm allowed one person.
Yeah, weekdays is difficult.
Yeah.
I have something.
But I'm allowed one. I haven't. I don't think my wife wants to go. But any of y'all want to go?
I can't. I'm swamped again.
Anyways, I'll have an open if somebody wants to go. I think we've got a caller. Caller, go ahead.
Hello, it's Lisette Lopez. How are
Hey,
you?
Lisette, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for putting me on your show.
Yeah, I know you've got a new venture going on for the past couple of months. Can you I know you've been on the show with us a few times. You're over at the Cat St. Rose right now, I think, doing some volunteer work, you were telling me, but tell the listeners a little bit about what you're doing now.
I actually became a realtor working with Keller Williams, and I'm specializing in assisting clients from first-time home buyers to luxury property listings. And I am here to help you navigate the world of real estate, making ensure that you have your informed decisions that align with your financial goals.
Well, you and I
it's
first
been really exciting.
You and I first met at a Christian Chamber of Commerce, and then I think I invited you to, was it a Men of Valor meeting, or was it a?
It was a Men of Valor, and I've actually been doing a lot of volunteer work for Men of Valor, and then they actually gave me a paying job. So I actually do that as well. So I do the Men of Valor, which, as you know, is the prison Christian ministry.
Yes.
And it's been amazing how they're changing lives through men, through God's work in those men. It's really very satisfying to be a part of that.
Well, hats off to our governor for having the heart for helping those guys,
Exactly. Governor Billy is huge in that, and he has worked with them for many, many years, and he is one of our biggest advocates. He's an amazing person. We wouldn't be where we are without him, so we're really blessed to have him.
Well,
like that.
Tell us a little about the real estate market. How's it coming along right now?
It's coming along. We're actually seeing conventional loan prices are going down a little bit. We're actually seeing multiple offers on homes already. So we are seeing some opportunities, and there's a lot of really good packages and benefits that we can do for first-time home buyers. So we're actually seeing the market starting to pick up a little bit. We're hoping that in 2025 as well, we're hoping that interest rate goes down a little bit more. So we just have to keep our fingers crossed, but we are seeing a lot of movement, especially in the investment opportunities as well.
Yes, I mean, we're growing. I don't know if you heard me mention the comptroller at a finance meeting about a month ago. He said we were the 13th fastest growing county in the nation, it's really impacting our school system and infrastructure. Not to try to sound negative, but boy, it's not the same community it was when I grew up here. But by the same token, when you were younger, you had to drive to Nashville for a job. There really wasn't that many jobs around until Nissan came in, and sadly some of those jobs moved to Mexico, moved away. Whirlpool, Heil Quaker, folks may remember them. Well, you do a lot of volunteer work. You're over at St. Rose Catholic Church right now, aren't you?
Actually, I just took a break, so I ran home to do Easter dinner with the family. But we had a great service at St. Rosalima, the beautiful church. And
I grew up over there. Yeah, my mother was Catholic, and she was like the only Catholic person that was like Pentecostal on the front row, raising her hands. And my mom was a strong woman of faith. I think I was sharing with you, I was playing Amazing Grace in her final hours, and music therapy is an issue I've taken on as a legislator, and I literally watched Dr. Raj. I watched my mother. I watched it at work when I was playing Amazing Grace with the bagpipes because she's from Scotland. I literally watched her moans calm down, her breathing calm down, and she passed the next morning. And I never shed a tear. The Lord just pulled. She was 91. She was ready to go. But hey, Lisette, take a guess who I got to meet this week. I'm gonna give you.
Everybody, you're all over town.
I'm gonna give you a hint. Her late husband used to say, "Thank you very much." Who?
Oh wait, no, Elvis, Presley.
Priscilla Presley. Man, I got to talk to her. Man, I was like, am I really talking to Priscilla Presley? I was telling her about my legislation, Amazing Grace, making it the official state hymn, and talked about music therapy, and she said, oh, Elvis loved Amazing Grace, and I was telling her about my mom's final hours, and then our new grandbaby. I mean, my son, it was mysterious, Dr. Raj. He named the baby Grace.
Oh, really?
I didn't think about it till after. I was like, oh my gosh, my mom died, Amazing Grace, and all of a sudden
it all ties in.
Yes,
like
and
you said, there's no coincidences. That's my order.
It was, but she was really sweet. She kind of came up to, I guess you could say, kind of advocate for I think it's the Rock and Roll Museum in Memphis, and they're asking for a few $1 million. I don't think they're going to get it, but they'll get a little something probably. But she was up there, and it was just a surreal moment. Dr. Raj, you an Elvis fan?
Sort of. See, when I grew up, there were not that many American songs in India. You know, it's now after internet, people are way more familiar.
Oh, Elvis is loved.
Especially in this state, he's loved. In Memphis, of course. Yeah, we love the King.
He was so big that even we had heard of him. Even we liked him. So you can imagine.
He put on a concert at MTSU.
MTSU, yeah. What was 77? No, 76.
Something like that, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because he passed in 78.
78.
Or 70, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's that long ago, but it has been, huh?
Well, Lisette, now y'all have got a big breakfast with Men of Valor, Wednesday morning?
Yes, we do. Wednesday morning. I hope to see you there. It's going to be really exciting. It's at the City Center downtown Nashville. It's a huge benefit. We're going to hear a lot of amazing stories of how God has worked through these men and what they've overcome. And I would love for you to be there.
Well, let me. Now the governor's going to be there. I'm sure he will.
The governor's going to be there. We confirmed it. He's going to be there. Yes, sir.
Well, you know, one thing about the message of Christ and the story of forgiveness and redemption and just loving your fellow man as yourself. I mean, you know, I see so many problems in this state: addiction and mental health and violence, and I've seen the gospel change men's hearts and women's hearts and free them of addiction, free them of heal relationships. And you know how much that whole drug program costs the taxpayers?
Oof, how much?
Zero. Think about it. Whether it's Troy Sanderford or with Hustle Recovery or Gene Garcia that you and I know with Teen Challenge, it turned his life around. And like I said, and it cost the taxpayers zero, which what people don't realize is our budget is just being hit so hard with incarceration, with the mental health challenges, True. But I appreciate your advocacy and just wanted you to call in and just kind of let folks know what you're doing, because one of the best shows we done you helped me with, and that was when we had the Cubans on the radio, remember?
Yes, I remember that. That was exciting. There was so much going on in Cuba. I mean, it's still lots going on still on that island. But
because your mom's from
huge.
Cuba.
I really appreciate you.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm first-generation American, and we've seen so many changes, and especially with the government now. I mean, it's almost like we're reliving it. So get out there and vote, guys. Let's make a difference.
Well, I liked what Ronald Reagan said, because when I was on the way up here that night, I was thinking, because I really hadn't got a chance to prepare, and I thought, what am I going to talk about? I don't know anything about Cuba. I don't know anything about Cubans. And it was like the Lord told me, pull up Ronald Reagan's speech, A Time for Choosing, and that's when Reagan said what Reagan was. He had heard a guy, and I think it was Rafael Cruz, and that's Ted Cruz's father, who I've met. And I think Joe Carr and I had met him a few years ago. Mayor Joe Carr and I had met him, and a few of the lawmakers. And the way the story goes, Reagan had overheard him say, or a congressman said, "You're so fortunate you left Cuba, to find freedom." And then Rafael Cruz responded, "I'm fortunate because I had somewhere to go." I mean, you have nowhere to go. This is the last stand of hope and freedom. If you lose it here, there's nowhere you're going to find it. But I love what one of your Cuban our Cuban guest said, he said, why don't we have a Cuban protester exchange program, and those people that don't like America, whether it's Antifa or Black Lives Matter, whoever, that don't like it here, let's exchange it for protesters in Cuba for 90 days and see how they like this.
I don't think they wouldn't last 90 minutes. And then
I know.
going on there now.
But we are very blessed. Well, thank you, Lisette, for calling. I'll see you Wednesday morning.
Blessed Easter.
All right, you too.
See you Wednesday morning at the breakfast.
Right,
Thank you, sir.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Dr. Raj, what are you doing Wednesday morning?
Well, okay.
You got class?
Yeah. I the thing with me is when I'm free, I'm absolutely free.
Yeah.
But when I'm not free, I just cannot be free because either I'm in a class or in a meeting or something like that, So MTSU will not care what I do on a Friday afternoon if I don't have a class. But if I have something going on, they don't want us to miss. You know
I bet.
how that is.
Well, Dr. Baum, serves with me, and a great guy, by the way. Do you know Charlie? Dr. Baum? He's a great guy.
I don't know of him.
Yeah, he's really sharp. Well, here's some interesting stats about social media. 4.8 billion social media users worldwide, Dr. Raj, representing about 60% of the global population, and roughly 93% of all internet users. Worldwide, people spend an average of 2.5 hours a day on social media. Over 75% of the population over 13 years of age uses social media. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Good or bad, this is the thing. I mean, we can sit here and criticize it's a bad thing, but this is what it is. I tell people all the time that even businesses, this is the reality. Whether we say, oh, this is not good, or student or young people are spending too much time on internet or on social media, but they are spending. It's not going to go down anytime soon.
Yes.
This is a one-way street. There is no way that 10 years from now you're going to go down 50%. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Newer apps will come. Today they are on Instagram and TikTok. Tomorrow they'll be on something else. But they will be on something else.
Yes.
That genie is out of box right now.
Exactly.
So I think the thing to do is to understand how do we make best use of it. You and I talked about mental health. Okay, if young people are suffering through that because this is the reality, a 14-year-old is on Instagram, a 13-year-old is on Instagram, whether we like it or not, then let's tackle it rather than telling don't. I honestly believe that it is silly for parents to tell a 13-year-old don't be on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because their friends are on Instagram. Everything is happening with them on Instagram. So let's educate them. Let's train them better. Let's, it's silly to say that most of advertisement is on social media. I don't like it. No. If you want your business to be on, people to know about it, be on social media.
Yeah.
So the more you educate yourself about social media, the better you will be able to handle it. Same thing goes with parents. The more they know about social media, the better they will be able to handle it. So I'll bring both the parallels. Parents don't know young social media. They know their Facebooks and all that, but kids are not on Facebook. So I encourage parents to learn what is a TikTok, what is Instagram, why are kids on, what is Snapchat and that kind of thing. I tell businesses, learn what is content creation, why you need to understand the benefits of it. And I think that's what they're beginning to understand, that okay, 60 to 70% of your advertising budget is going on something on internet, whether it's social media, whether it is short content only or long content or streaming or any of those things. It is there.
Yes. Well, going
That's
back,
what the fact is.
Going back, which is interesting on the short content, talking about the short videos, the attention span of young people today.
Exactly. And several research that has been done over last several years is that attention span of young people is coming down.
Yes.
8 to 10 seconds is what we talk about.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, all right. So one way to tackle is that say, oh, this is really bad. Look, in our time, we've never, but that's useless.
Yeah.
If attention span is 8 seconds, let's teach them in 10 seconds. Let's teach them in 8 seconds. Let's create content which they are receptive to it in the short term. If they are on Instagram, let's go on Instagram. If they are on TikTok, go on TikTok, and because that's where you're going to get their attention.
Yeah.
And businesses who are hopping on the new trends of content and small, short content are beginning to do very well.
Yes. Well, some of these content creators, I guess, have really made themselves kind of wealthy.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. It is so true that young people who are learning how to create these content, which younger people are receptive to, are really doing very well.
Yeah, that little Sweat of Nepal young lady that we were talking about earlier, I think she had one video that had 1.6 million views. 1.6 million views. And I mean, literally probably took her how long to put together?
Like less than a minute to put together. I mean, literally, I have had 10 videos that have done over 1 million.
Wow.
10. And none of them took me more than a minute to make. None of them.
Yes.
Every one of them took me few seconds to make it. Then I edited. Okay, the editing may take 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But total, I post one video a day, 7 videos. If I add the total time it take me to make it ready, 2 hours.
What was like a video that you did maybe today or yesterday? What was it about?
So what I do is I make videos that are relating to students.
Okay.
So for example, one of the videos that I made yesterday was not yesterday, few days back, that students say, the person is asking me a question, and I'm saying, remember, the assignment is due in 3 days, and they look at like 3 days. Why am I doing it today? I'll do it tomorrow.
Yes.
Like, no, guys, don't wait till the last moment to do that. So those kind of videos I'll make. One of the one that is it going to be banned? So I mean, like, I make video that is current, the information and that kind of thing.
Yeah, because what was interesting in the class, it was really awkward for me as a lawmaker, because I voted, about the ban TikTok, and I was like, man, I'm in a TikTok class. This is really, the Lord just puts me in these places of irony. You know what I mean?
He's testing you.
It really is. And one of the students, I was telling you in class, or I was suggesting to you in class that you could use TikTok. I said, you can use this. And Izzy, he's a sharp student.
Yeah, he's a sharp
student. He and I like the young man challenging me. He goes, well, why would you tell him? And you voted no, but to ban it. And I said, it's a thing called the First Amendment. It's first for a reason. It ain't number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Even Dave Chappelle talked about the First Amendment being first for a reason. And it is a First Amendment issue. On your own time, you could use it. It's just not on the state's system.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know where it's at now, but I know it was interesting because some people don't trust Facebook. See, I do Facebook, but I don't do TikTok. And I couldn't go to TikTok because I'd look like I'd be a hypocrite. So I do put a few things on Facebook.
And to be honest with you, and this is one of my thing that if you are banning TikTok because you're afraid of data being stolen, well, then you should ban Facebook also, because Facebook also has the same data.
Yes.
And that can be bought. Forget stolen. You can actually buy those data. That's what happened previously. So, I mean, I understand this is Chinese owned, and there's always concern about what if they can steal the data. So, I mean, I understand where the politicians are coming from, but the reality is that's where the young people are.
Yes. Well, I think you knew where I got upset in our finance meeting. It made the news. I used profanity in the meeting. I didn't mean to. I just, I kind of slipped up. And but the area of mental health is a serious issue. Yeah. And I talk about synchronicity, God wink moments. I had just called Mayor Ketron, well, now he works for MTSU, and I say, can you get with the administration? We got to get Dr. Raj some permission to do this project that I think would be really wise to partner with behavioral area over there, mental health, and just have some discussion, because there's some sharp students over, whether it's Izzy or Sweater or some others that's over there. I think students could relate to it and reach them where they're at. And I took it that the committee didn't take me. They wasn't taking it seriously. I guess because I mentioned TikTok, they thought it was funny or something. And but I had just called Bill Ketron that morning. Bill can attest to this. I said, man, can you get Dr. McPhee and Ottman, because I really think this is important. And he said, okay, Mike. And he was like, okay. And I know he's taking me seriously, but I don't think he's taking me really serious. Like, Mike, this is really a serious issue. And I have a lot of respect for Bill. Bill's got a good heart for people. And he called me back within 15 minutes. He said, Mike, we had a suicide on campus this morning. Yeah. He said, man, you're talking about mental health and we had a suicide. What's the probability of that?
Exactly.
That's what I call confirmation.
That's exactly true. And when I heard that that's one of the things is I want to do something in the social media,
Yes.
and especially in mental health.
Well, it's a serious issue. I can about promise you, Jackson, the studio, Jeremy, myself, everybody listen. There's something. Everybody's dealing with their own challenges in some way. And this is a way to reach those students. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Most people know that their insurance can provide them with coverage for the many life's mishaps. But I can help you also unlock discounts, save money, and get benefits with Farmers Insurance policy perks. Whether we're discussing home or auto insurance, I am here to help you understand these great perks. Call me, Mark Lewis, at 615-625-7070 for a quote, and you can get a whole lot of something with Farmers policy perks.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Not available in every state. Only available at select Farmers branded policies underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate.
Dr. Automotive Auto Repair and Maintenance Mechanic Shop Garage provides car owners in Smyrna, Murfreesboro, Laverne, and the Middle Tennessee area with excellent auto repair services. Deep-rooted experience in serving both foreign and domestic automobiles allows for proper diagnosis in a timely manner. Check them out online at autoropairsmyrna.com, call them at 615-220-0971, or stop on in at 1205 Hazelwood Drive in Smyrna.
Hey, Middle Tennessee, it's Mark from the Safe House. And now the security riddle of the day. What's less secure than a fake safe from a big box or furniture store? Joe Biden's fake border policy, of course. But hey, there is good news. This time next year, Joe Biden will not be president. So drop by the Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. Build a wall around your valuables with a safe from the Safe House. We have certified delivery crews to deliver and install your safe. Don't let a crackhead or illegal deliver your safe. With over 30 years in the safe business, the Safe House is the place to buy a safe in Tennessee. So go to NashvilleSafeHouse.com.
Hi, this is Allie Dowenhauer with Isaiah 117 House. Isaiah 117 House provides physical and emotional support for children awaiting foster care placement here in Rutherford County. We are changing the way foster care begins, and those kiddos are brought to our house to hang out and wait for a foster family, and they're given everything they need. We support foster children, DCS, and foster families here in Rutherford County. Visit us at www.isaiah117house.com or visit our Facebook page, Isaiah 117 House, Rutherford County.
All right, we're back. I'm trying to get these guys to behave in the studio, man. What are y'all talking about?
So he was talking about using TikTok to use it as sort of an educational tool, and I immediately was like, "Oh, let me tell him about Roman Helmet Guy." That's his actual it's this guy on TikTok and Instagram and all that. His screen name, username, whatever. His name is Roman Helmet Guy.
Roman Helmet Guy. Okay.
Yeah, it's all one word, no uppercase, no lowercase, no crazy characters or anything. But in his videos, he takes like some historical figure. I was just showing him one of his most recent videos, which is talking about history buff here.
Yeah.
Talking about one of the three unifiers of Japan, who was a man by the name of Tokugawa Ieyasu. Okay. And in his video, it's pretty fast paced, because you were talking about how like a lot of things are pretty fast paced in a lot of social media nowadays. So he goes pretty like quick, but he designs his content to a point where, oh wow, okay, wow, interesting, yeah. And then at the very end he talks about like, well, with that one he said they don't call you one of the 3 unifiers of Japan. They call you Tokugawa Ieyasu.
Bless you. No, but it is interesting how. Yeah. But I really think, going back on the mental health situation with that person committing suicide. Somebody said, well, he's a contract worker. He's still a person. It's still somebody's son, somebody's brother. Yeah. And Dr. McPhee handled it really well. The press release he put out, they covered the crisis number, which is 988. Folks need to know it. But it's a serious issue, mental health, and mental health leads to addiction, leads to, like what we've seen with that suicide. But where I lost my temper in committee, I dropped the F-bomb. God forgive me. I didn't say the word. I just said, people kind of laugh when I mentioned TikTok and I just said, y'all think effing suicide's funny on campus? And I don't think they're ever going to laugh again, because it made news. Channel 5, I was like, oh my gosh, I know I'm going to make the news tonight. But I didn't say the word, with all full disclosure. But it just, I think sometimes people don't take it as seriously as we need to. But I think you can, I promise you, I'm not going to get egg on my face talking about this. I promise you, if you get with the human behavior persons, the mental health, and the counselors, even some of the social workers, and tie this in, because even a firefighter I met with a couple of years ago, they always put on a good reception. And I was talking to this firefighter, man, and I said, man, what do you do to kind of decompress? How do you, because, they see a lot. They see a lot of, they probably seen more bad trauma than my dad seen in World War II. They see people blow their heads off. They see people jump off bridges. They see people with needle in their arms that are overdose. My dad really didn't see all that. He's seen some bad things, but not that. And I said, man, how do you decompress? You know what this young guy says? He said, man, sometimes I call my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever do that? Because your parents are around, right?
My dad is 86.
Yeah.
I call him every day.
Good for you.
Every night we do a FaceTime. Very short. 5 minutes, 7 minutes, but every night we do that, my night time, his morning, it's 12-hour difference, time difference, and I'm telling you, it makes a big difference.
Well, if Ottman and Jimmy Hart, some of them are listening, they got to get it together. You got to catch these kids where they're at. Whether it's addiction and some of these other areas. I think we've got a caller. Caller, go ahead.
Hey, Mike, it's Marty.
Hey, Marty, did y'all wear those boards back in the day that said "Eat at Joe's"? Is that what you used for marketing back in the day?
Yeah, man, we sure did.
Well, you started
we had a lot of, I was listening to y'all talk about TikTok.
Yep.
And now, I'm telling you, I don't look at anything other than history lectures, and I look at piano concerts, violin concerts, and then I listen to one thing called the Y-Files. Oh, man, that boy, you talk about somebody going in deep and explaining stuff to you. I get a lot of historical ideas from that thing. That's where I write a lot of my stories. Listening to these guys and now research and do the background.
Yes. Well, you wrote something.
I did find out, too, that TikTok is 60% of TikTok is by investors.
Owned by, you mean Chinese investors, you mean?
No, not necessarily. According to what I read, there was a lot of American investors in it. They just don't speak out.
Oh. Well, Dr. Raj, what do you think Congress is going to do with TikTok?
I don't know if I should say that, but let me give you one.
Rebranded?
The number one, okay, all right. The number 2 biggest investor in ByteDance that owns TikTok is an American guy.
Okay.
So that's why I don't know if it will ever get fully banned.
Yes.
Number 1. Number 2, I think they will sell it because U.S. is their biggest market, not number-wise, but commerce-wise. So I think they will sell it before. And if they sell it, then I think, or if American companies can guarantee that all the data is right now, all the data is saved in Dallas. In Dallas.
Okay.
So there, ByteDance is saying, look, all the data that's come from US is saved in Dallas, but there's always this doubt that but if they can access the data, then what's the use of that? So this has to be given complete responsibility of, let's say, Microsoft, that you make sure the data that is in Dallas cannot be accessed by somebody outside of that system.
Let's go back on the drones, for example. I hope Deputy Chris Beach doesn't give me a hard time for mentioning, but General Assembly, we banned the DJI drones, the Chinese drones, but I've had law enforcement tell me they're the best drones for law enforcement. And I went out and watched them on a training at World Outreach, and I mean, literally, I took the drone and flew it into the like you're looking for a school shooter or something, and you're right there. And you do have to have distrust of lobbying and why somebody wants to ban things, because it grows their market. And sometimes there's a monopoly in certain industries. I mean, should we trust what we're hearing in the news when it comes to TikTok and some of these other areas?
I honestly don't think so. And the reason I don't think so is because nobody wants to upset 150 million Americans who are on TikTok.
Yes, right before an election, too.
Right before an election.
Yes.
And while a majority of it is are used by 18 to 24-year-olds who vote. Yeah. So I really don't see how it can be banned before, at least not till the election.
What are you hearing from students? How do they feel?
I mean, I teach Gen Z.
Yeah.
I mean, they are 100% wanting. I don't think. I did a survey, like, okay, I have 35 people in my class. I like, oh, how many people do you think it should be banned? And there was a 0% saying that.
Zero.
Yeah. I mean, like, and I said, how many of you are concerned that your data? And they're saying, not really. Honestly, no. I mean, like, we are posting videos. What data can they really get?
Well, that's kind of the argument law enforcement was sharing with me, that if they're saying the data that's out there, the data's already there. You have it with Google, you have it with the mapping. So some of these arguments, I try to think critically and think for myself, and not just because somebody's telling me. I don't trust the media. Just full transparency. Marty, you still there?
Yeah, I was listening to that. What he's saying is really interesting, Mike, and it's my understanding the same as his about TikTok.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a 75-year-old man. I don't fall into the pattern at all. But I listen to TikTok almost every night, and because there's certain people I enjoy following.
Yes. Well, these are tough decisions that, whether national security in other areas, it's just, it's out there, and...
Now, Mike, I'm a conspiracy theorist, right?
Well, but you've been talking about stuff, and it's really been happening. I mean, you can talk about the border. I mean, the Eagle Pass, and what's happened over there. You were calling this out, last year?
Yeah. But with TikTok, they can't be controlled by the government. They can't call up Mark and say, hey, we need to shut Facebook down for a while. Or we need Instagram shut down for a while, or something else.
Yes.
But with TikTok, they can't call them and say, we need you to shut down.
Yes. Well, thank you, Marty, for calling in, and thank you for coming to church with us today, Marty.
Jeremy? It was good to see you, Marty.
Yeah.
Thank you for picking me up.
All right, you're welcome, bro. Thank you, Jackson. You too. Thank you, Dr. Raj.
Thank you very much.
We'll see y'all.